The silver price has bounced at the perfect spot that we needed it to. We're not out of the woods yet, but let's take a look at the chart right now. With me, Joe Main, you're watching Good Morning Stackers. We'll also do gold, other precious metals. We'll do digital assets and anything else. I'll take chart requests too. Here is silver on the, now we're looking at the 4-hour time frame. This is the zoom in. Don't stress about it over the longer term. Don't worry about it. I'd like to give you the weather report. You know, look at these levels, look at that levels, etc. Let me just quickly show you though. I mean, on the quarterly time frame, looking amazing, of course, broke the all-time high. Could we have a bit of a dip? Sure, it doesn't matter in the long term. We're going to triple-digit silver eventually, and I think higher triple-digit silver. But if you're wondering, geez, I don't know, should I buy more here, etc., and you don't want a dollar cost average, let's take a look. So I was talking about this high and this low. So let's go back here. Great to see everyone watching on YouTube and on X live right now. We'll get to comments and shout outs, etc., and all that sort of stuff, and the synchronized slurp. But we take from this low and this high and this low. We bounced off exactly off the expected resistance area, or the zag zone, the zig zone, whatever you want to call it. Right there, we did find resistance. And I did say, look, I didn't want us to go down through that $47.50 level right there. Okay, but here's what we did do, which is good. So there is a bit of sign of life. Okay, let me show you right here. We bounced perfectly. Let me show that perfect spot between this low and this high. Bounced perfectly off the expected support zone area. So when you have a move, you tend to retrace because markets go up, markets go down, markets zig and markets zag. And the zag zone, the expected support range after a move on any kind of time frame, you can do this on any kind of time frame, with the Fibonacci is between the 0.382 and the 0.618. This is if you're taking from a low and a high. If you're taking from a high and a low, then they just get flipped around. Okay, but it's this zone right here. Here is, we call this this would be strong support or a strong trend. This would be like neutral support. This is weak support, but it is still support. So you didn't want to see it bounce. You didn't want to see it close the 4-hour time frame or a daily time frame anywhere under there. Okay, that would not be setting up for a higher moves. Okay, that would be saying, oh man, you closed under here. Okay, then we're probably heading down to some further prices. We will look at those, what they potentially are. But great. Bounce off there, closed above the 0.618, closed above the bottom end of the zag zone. That's good. Now, here's a good thing. We're back through it at the moment. So that's positive. Okay. What I need to see, it's pretty damn simple, is preferably now have this as support. Okay, so keep $47.90 as support. Bounce off there. And I'll show you, see this area right here at $48.50. This is from this low and this high. This is the resistance range, right? Let me show you something. Let me go like this, and I'll just take it from here and here. Get rid of you, and yeah, get rid of you. You can go as well. Now, if I take it from this high and this low, this is now the expected resistance range that we need to get through in order to say, okay, looks like we're moving onwards and upwards from here. And gee, what do you know? The top end of that zone sits exactly, basically, at that previous resistance. Isn't it funny how that works? Again, good old Fibonacci for the win. So in order to be much more confident to say, okay, perfect bounce here from this low and this high, perfect bounce at the 0.618, didn't want to go lower than there. Now we need to get through here. And it just happens to match up with resistance as well. So I get through that $48.40 area, and then I say, okay, fantastic. It's probably looking really good for at least a move up through here. Now, if we get up through here, that's really good. Okay, if you get up through there, $48.40, I would say you're going to make a play for the $49.40 area, so probably a buck or so. I think 1, 2, higher low. Okay, so higher low off there. Third time would be a charm. So if you get through that 48.38, come on, man, that 48.40 kind of level, and you hold above it, I'm going to say third time would be a charm, and we would break through. That would be good. That would be a failure swing pattern, okay, on the 4-hour time frame. Great. Then we would just be coming up to some next major resistance, and as I had been saying, the $51 area is that next major one. So that's the big line in the sand. The mini line in the sand is that 48.40 level. Cool. But the big line in the sand after that is at $51 even. And you can see that right here. Again, this is all, just small time stuff. If you're buying silver for the longer term, don't worry about this kind of stuff. Your dollar cost averaging anyway, it's the best way to do it. But knowing how this stuff works, technical analysis, etc., can help inform you on the shorter term timeframes, but actually knowing this stuff helps you on the longer term timeframes. So then you can look out years in advance, or at least months and months in advance, and go, oh, okay, well, looks like we could be coming up to this expected resistance range on the monthly timeframe. Okay, so learning about this stuff and keeping updated on is actually not a bad idea. That's why we focus on these smaller timeframes as well. So you can see right here, once we get through there, 38, once we get through 48.40, I think it's a straight shot through that area right there. And then I think we will probably at least come up to test, I reckon, around that $51 area. If we reject there and then head back through, okay, not good, then we'll talk about lower prices. We'll get to that in a second. If we bounce around here, once we get through 51 and it remains a support, okay, then I'll say, okay, new all-time high coming for silver really, really soon, like imminently, like in a matter of just a days, weeks, not months and months. Cool. So 51 is the big kicker. Get through 48.40 preferably to give that some kind of decent chance. Cool. Now let's look at the opposite end of the spectrum, and I'll take it back to here. Now what I liked, I also did mention it on one of the Facebook posts. Today we'll be talking about digital ID as well sometime after the technical analysis, is I did like that the volume is actually leading the charge. So for example, when the volume is leading, that's saying there's a lot of life in the market. So this could be a nice little turnaround right here. So perfect bounce off the 0.618, okay, with volume leading the charge. What does that mean? I'll show you right here. What generally should happen with volume and price action is they should be going in basically exact same formation. They should be in confluence rather than divergence. Cool. But here's a bit of divergence, and this is bullish divergence as such. It's not technically a bullish divergence pattern, but it's bullish in nature. Okay. So for example, if I take through, where are we through? See there? If I put a little line there, so there's your resistance line. Okay. So we are way below that resistance line. But if you take a look on the volume, we've actually come up to test it, and we've actually slightly broken it on that little downtrend as well. So it's saying that volume is leading the price, and not always, but it can mean that the price may catch up to there. So I'm going to say I'm more confident that we see a break of that $48.40 area right there. Gee, what do you know? I didn't even see that before. Gee, what do you know? It's the 0.236 Fibonacci as well. Okay, so there you go. Very key level, $48.40. I'm more confident because of that, because it's leading the charge, that we do something like that. And I think through, I'm going to be more than 50% certain that we do that. Call it 60-40, okay, roughly. But what will change my mind if we just pretty simply break back down through there? So through $47, that would be setting up a lower move, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Pop it in here. So you'll be getting through, Joe, if you come down here, break out of it, and then get back down through that expected support range, that means there's just a lot of weakness. It means that people aren't willing to take the 62% discount from this low and this high. It's like, okay, they're not willing to buy there. Why not? They were just buying here. Why aren't they buying here again? That signals a lot of weakness. So then I would suggest you're probably getting, bare minimum, you would get a double bottom. That could be true. That could be a double bottom. It depends on, we'd have to see what the volume is doing and what the something like the relative strength index is doing at the same time. No, yes, and that's, close enough for Jazz. We'd have to be seeing what the RSI is doing at the same time. But if you don't bottom there, then we'll talk about the lower prices. Let's have a look at that. I did show you before. I'll give you the short answer. It is sitting at around about $43 US. That's where I think we would go down to next if we don't find this double bottom here at that $45.50, $43.30, I think technically it was. And I'm taking it from this low? Yeah, it's this low and this, yeah, it's right here. This low and this high. No, is it not that one? No, it's the next one. Okay, so this is the one where we came down to that, gee, again, on the longer term time frame, you see how we came down to the bottom end of its zag zone right there, pretty much a perfect touch of that. There you go, see, because if you're failing through there, then you're getting through its expected support range, and then you are retracing the larger move, and the larger move was coming back to that 43 level. Yeah, right there. So then you're doing that, and then we'll be in that zone, and then you'd want to watch out for no lower than, please, that $43.30 kind of area right there. So that's my thing. That's my dealio. If you break through 47, you're going to get at least a touch of 45.50. Hopefully it's a double bottom. Okay, we'd have to see what the relative strength index is doing and if there's some bullish divergence on there. But if you don't hold that, then I'm saying you're going to at least touch that $43.30 area. Cool. I think $43.30 is probably, I can never say it's the lowest we're going to go, but I'd be surprised if it goes lower than that. The only other thing I would say is if I get rid of all of this, and we have been speaking about this, we spoke about this many times before. If you go to the macro and have a look at the 3 monthly, the quarterly time frame, I'll pop this on the logarithmic scale, might be just better so you can see it a little easier. And get that out of the way. Then we do have this in play as well. We talked about the fact that for the first time in history, ever in history, silver closed a quarterly time frame above $38. Technically, I guess it's 37.75, 37.80, call it 38 even. And it's a really huge level, okay? Massive. So if you do see something like that, and we've been speaking about this for a while, that's the kind of absolute maximum I think we could go to. And that's actually still really quite normal, okay? Down into there. I'm not saying this is happening, by the way, but if you do start, I'd say, closing this month, you don't want to see November in a red month, preferably. You definitely don't want to see the end of the year close in the red, because if you close the end of the year in the red, this will be a red quarterly close, and that's not preferable. That would set it up for some lower prices, maybe into the first quarter of 2026. But yeah, I mean, down to there, that sort of $38 kind of area, it's not surprising, right? It wouldn't be surprising at all, because look, what goes up goes down, what goes up must come down. Okay, so don't be afraid that silver goes all the way down to say $38. You're buying it for the longer term, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's what we want to see on the smaller term time frame, is that thing that I just mentioned, and I'm not going to repeat myself. So yeah, there we go. That is silver, but it did bounce at that perfect spot. That's why it gives me pause to think at the moment. More likely we head up than heading down. Cool. I will change my tune as soon as if we ever break that $47 level. Cool. That is silver. I'm going to go to gold, precious metals, and we'll do digital assets and some stocks, etc. But of course, I need to say hello to my amazing Good Morning Stackers family, and we must do the synchronized slurp. That's where you grab a tasty beverage. I grab my tasty beverage. We slurp them synchronously together wherever you are in the world right now. You could be sipping a coffee. You could be something. You know what I mean? If it's over, if it's past 12 o'clock, that's okay. If you're having a little evening tipple, that's all right. But whatever it is, tell me what it is that you're slurping in the comments, and the rule is you must do it audibly. Ready? It's the slurp heard around the world. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Good to see you. You're like, I just joined. Who's this random guy? I'm Joe Main, coming to you live from Melbourne in Australia, live on X and on YouTube. I do this show. I do it twice live per week, and all the other pre-recorded stuff I do in between. I am also the owner and the admin and the everything guy of the Silver Investor Club. I'll put a link. I put it at the top of the chat somewhere, the Silver Investor Club. We've got a little bit to talk about that as well. There's a lot of new things being rolled out at the Silver Investor Club. And we're going to talk about digital ID and what happens when digital ID in Australia rolls in, and some people don't want to give their ID for, to continue to be a Facebook member or an Instagram member or whatever that is, and in particular for the precious metals industry, because there's buy, swap, and sell groups, for example, and a very, very well-known one which I'm part of. What happens if digital ID rolls in, and what do we do? So I've got a mini solution to that as well, in case that happens. But let's just do some quick shout outs as well. Can you do me a favor? Head over to x.com/It's Joe Main. We really appreciate that. Why? Well, I've got over 4,000 followers right there. And I need you to see me. Well, I don't need you to see me do it, but I am going to do it. I just edit this, and then it helps me get a little bit more trendy. Okay, you thought I was trendy enough, but then it just helps. There we go. If I update that, then all those other people can pop in as well. And you just want to follow me over there because I've got amazing hot takes. Hot takes. Hotter than hotcakes. Let's see. Yes, you can join the Silver Investor Club. It's free for now. Let me give you a real hot tip. It's going to be really not that free pretty soon, I think. Okay, I'm looking at the models and what we do and how we do it. But yeah, I would suggest joining sooner rather than later. GMS says, Mark, Florida. Morning. Oh, fine. Don't say morning to me. Say morning amongst yourselves. Morning, stackers. Now, actually, does everyone note? Remember we talked about how it's only showing your username now? And I was wondering, what the hell is it a bug in my system, etc.? It doesn't show your profile name anymore, so it's all based on the username. I found out it's actually what YouTube has done. They changed it from June this year. They rolled out, so it was rolling out, not all in one go, this thing where they're removing the profile name, and it was apparently to help people to stop spoofing or faking other people's names. So, for example, Chris Sino with his unique username, someone could fake being you. As I hit the microphone, someone could fake being you by putting, creating an account, your profile picture, and then your normal profile name. And I could literally think I was talking to them. So I get to you when I'm talking to a fakie. So I get it. It's just slightly annoying. I'm sure we'll get used to it. So now it's all based on your username. So if you guys want to consider changing your username so that it's more in line with, I don't know, something that better identifies you, that's up to you. But yeah, this is what we're going to get from now on. Synth, GMS, Neil, good to see you, my friend. Like and share. That would be one of the most important things that you can do. Do I want to turn this up? Yeah, I'll turn it up. Why not? Vanessa, g'day, Van. Good to see you. G'day, Jason Rosana. It's been a while, mate. Good to see you, my friend. Who's buzzing me at this time of the day when they know I'm doing a show? Don't you know what I'm doing? Let's see. Gerald, some roller coaster ride. Okay, yes, that's a lot of digital asset kind of stuff. Good morning, Bullionaires, says Mudgut61. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, good rebound and see what is left for dead. Yeah, you never know. Robert Schaefer says, enjoy the analysis. The course is working for you. You would be talking about the Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, 12-month, year-long comprehensive course of which I started in February. I thought I was okay at technical analysis and stuff like that. Nah, let me tell you. I'm gonna. It is a shameless plug, but I'm gonna plug it, seeing as though you mentioned it. And not that I'm not sponsored by them currently, because I'm sure it's just the screen, just Joe. Come on, Joe, Screen and Joe. You want Screen and Joe. Why wouldn't you want to see my face? Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. So this is headed up by David Bird, aka ASX Trader. You might find him on YouTube, etc. Great channel. It's amazing. Technical analysis person. Okay, now they've got it's a bit of an updated website. Okay, I am doing there. Cool. Enrollment's open. There we go. I'm doing the year-long comprehensive course. Okay, It's 40 weeks, 4 units. I'm in unit 2 right now. We've done the first unit. That was Dow Theory, Principles, and Technical Analysis Foundations. Now in unit 2 is all about the advanced tactics. Okay, so yeah, I'm learning all this stuff about I knew about Fibonacci and this, that, now, but I didn't know how to put it all together. Now I've been putting it all together, and I appreciate the fact that you just said then, let me go back here. I appreciate the fact that you said the course is working for you. It's absolutely working for me. And you're imbibing it by being a subscriber to me. So hit the big red subscribe button. Protein shake after a gym. Protein shake after a gym workout, says Sino. Wow, didn't know you were a gym bro as well, Sino. You're a man of many talents. Water slurp after landscaping. Yeah, you definitely need to keep hydrated, my friend. GMS says... Nico, good to see you, dude. Oh, right. Macrat. I hate the fact that I just have to try and read everyone's usernames now. It's very annoying rather than just their profile name. Government job tricked me into digital ID 6 months ago. That's annoying. I'm sorry about that. But, some people believe it's not a big deal. Some people believe it is a big deal. I don't know where I sit on the fence, but I do understand that many people have some issues with it. Yeah. GMS says silent stacker. Question from Philip Walsh. Good morning. Is 1 gram of gold worth stacking? I'll let everyone else comment at the same time, but the short answer is yes, it is worth stacking. Of course, any gold that you can stack is worth stacking. I mean, as I told thousands of customers in my time during, working for 3 major bullion dealers. I always like to tell you I did that, didn't I? Don't I? Yeah, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. There are pros and cons to buying in sizes. When you buy a giant kilo bar, a kilo bar size, it's literally about that size. Kilo bar size of gold, you're paying much, much closer to the spot price, okay? But it's a kilo bar of gold. When gold is it's really high already, how do you offload a kilo bar of gold other than back to a bullion dealer? It's much harder to sell it privately because you're going to have to find someone with X amount of, $100 and something thousand for a kilo, Australian dollars for a kilo bar of gold at the moment. Not everyone has that. And when you go back to a bullion dealer, they're not going to pay you spot price for it. Not even the bullion dealers that pay spot price, which is on like 2 companies or maybe 3 now that do that. Perth Bullion Exchange happens to be one of them, perthbullion.com.au. But not even those guys will buy back at spot price for kilo gold. No, they have size limits. So there's an immediate percentage below, and you're probably talking at least 3% off. When I worked for one of the bullion dealers I worked for, it was 97% of spot price for kilo gold, okay? But again, you're getting it at a cheaper price. So maybe, are you saving money by buying the kilo gold and then just taking that 3% hit when gold is way, way higher? What do you care about 3%? Does it really matter? Probably not. But yeah, your selling options are much, much limited. However, 1 gram of gold, basically the complete opposite end, you're going to pay a really high premium for it. But here's the thing, very easily tradable, tradable. You don't even have to, get money for it. You can trade it for other goods and services later on down the track if you want. But you do have to wait a lot longer for you to reach your average cost for that 1 gram bar, okay? Because you may pay a much higher premium, but the total pros are you can sell at spot price. You could sell it probably higher than spot price, I reckon, at one point. You could probably sell 1 gram gold on the private market, but you walk into any bullion dealer. Wow, let me say that again. Walk into select bullion dealers and you get spot price for it. But yeah, sell it on the private market, trade it for things. So that's the thing. And they're very portable, all right? Very divisible, of course, because they're 1 gram. Let's see. I think we'll talk about it now, actually. Let's just talk about it now. They made it mandatory to drive in some states to get the new digital ID. Really? Oh, I didn't look that up. Sino says, if the government are pushing something like a digital ID, it can't be in the interest of the people. I think history has proven that. You could be right. So I may as well talk about it now, then we'll get to, I've got to do other precious metals and we'll do some quick crypto stock stuff, I think. Let's talk about that. 1 grams, quickly answering that question. The Mando Dad said 1 grams are handy to stack so you can sell at lower amounts, yes, when needed, and not lock into selling a full ounce. Even ounces are getting really expensive, obviously, and it's over $5,000 for 1 ounce. That's ridiculous. Okay, not everyone has 5 something, 6 grand, whatever that is for 1 ounce of gold these days. So the fractionals are becoming really popular. The 20 grams are very popular at the moment, the 10 grams and the 20 grams. So yeah, 1 grams I think are going to be way more than norm. So no problem buying. They are good to buy, yes. All right, let's talk about digital ID. Let's talk about digital ID and the buy, swap, sell market for precious metals. Okay, now this is going to be a plug for my Silver Investor Club. So I'm giving you a heads up on that, but it does tie in, and someone made this very good point. I have the Silver Investor Club. Okay, I'll show you a screenshot and whatever. And I actually I'll show it to you now, and we'll talk about it at the same time. Here's the Silver Investor Club. It's currently free to join. Okay, and here's the About page. Okay, so that link that I put somewhere, that'll get you to the About page. We've already got many of my Good Morning Stackers subscribers as members. There's 250 members at the moment. Just go to the About page and then read what you get and all that. All that's going to be updated because there's a lot more coming in the next week or so, roughly. But I posted on here because I was thinking about it. Should we have a buy, swap, sell section? Would you like to see a buy, swap, sell section in the club, a paste to buy, swap, and sell? I said I can't see any harm in adding it, but keen to hear your thoughts. Now, the votes so far, out of 26 votes, we have 25 votes yes, 1 vote no. I think the ayes have it, right? The yeses have it. So I am going to implement a buy, swap, and sell section, a category on the thing. But here's what someone made a really great point, and I hadn't even thought about it. Jay Nah said, I think this is good. With the digital ID rollout, I'm not sure if I will be staying on FB groups for buying and selling. So an additional space to use would be beneficial. And I said, yeah, that's a damn good point. And even Sino, who's in the chat right now, said, I deleted my Instagram today in preparation for it. I'll be doing the same with Facebook. I'm not one for a forced digital ID. So for that extra reason, I am going to add a buy, swap, and sell category. We have a new post. I don't know who that is. So up top here, you can see you've got spot talk. Okay, you've got stock talk. We talk about stocks, silver. This is all silver related stuff. You got the streams and specials section because every Friday, Perth Bullion Exchange does an exclusive special for members only. Okay, you can't get it anywhere else, right? This where I post the special may be changing. We'll have to talk about that soon. I'll give you an update later on. We've got the show and tell section. Post what you bought recently, a picture of something pretty from your stack, etc. Chris Sino, you put yourself in the show and tell. Okay, you want to show yourself off? Sure, man. We've got the workshop section. This is where we're going to go into other things other than silver, like what can you teach us? Okay, so a workshop. If you have an expertise on something, you want to teach us about something, there's a workshop section. But what I will be doing is I'm going to be putting in a buy, swap, and sell section, and I'll put it as somewhere as the first tab so you can see them straight away. And it'll work in a similar way to other groups out there on Facebook or other buy, swap, and sell sections. We just got to make sure it's maintained well. There's a good amount of trust there as well. Now, if you're a member of the Silver Investor Club, you're already going to be very, very high trust, I would imagine. And I also think I may need to gateway it, and we'll talk about that as well. But I'll make a separate update for that. So, with the digital ID rolling out, this is what I'm going to do. Over at the Silver Investor Club, again, currently free to join, I will be creating a buy, swap, and sell section. It'll be a work in progress. It'll maybe a bit buggy. I don't know how it'll work exactly. I'll have to put the rules in, etc. But it is going to be a space just in case the Facebook decides to roll out digital ID for everyone. No one knows exactly what it's going to be. Am I going to be grandfathered in because I started my account in 2010? If I started my account in 2010 and now I wasn't 1 year old when I started it. Like you got a bit of thinking, okay? So I'm definitely over 16, but I could see the argument where they go, well, you could have taken over someone else's account. You could have inherited someone's account. You could have stolen someone's account. So no, we definitely need this digital ID for anyone and anyone that's on the internet, on social media, and Facebook, etc. So yeah, I'm going to do that. So that's going to be a place in case this digital ID thing happens and you're not comfortable with it. Head over to the Silver Investor Club and we'll do it over there. I will try and get that up within the next 24, 48 hours, end of the weekend, something like that. So that's what I'm going to do there. And McCart says, hell yes to that. Good. All right, so go over there. And by the way, gateway it with a digital... yeah. Yeah, I'll gateway it with a digital ID. Sorry, guys, you got to provide your ID to get it. No, there's a very simple way to gateway it to make sure there's at least not scammers. And I mean, the short way is to charge a very, like, the most minimal amount I can. Like, I'm talking like $1 a month to be part of the community. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about charging, oh my God, $1 a month to be part of that community. Now there are going to be paid tiers as well. So for example, and I won't go into it straight away and all this stuff, but again, on the Fridays, we do the live stream. We do the live stream hangout. We do the specials for members, etc. That's probably going to be gatewayed at a slightly higher price as well. So I'm going to keep, this is what I'm thinking at this stage for everyone. I'm going to keep the general community at that $1 a month. $1 a month, okay? It's $1, sorry. Oh, so $1.50 Australian, whatever that is, per month, okay? So, and I'll probably do a yearly thing, so $10 a year to be part of this amazing community of like-minded silver investors. Then you get the buy, swap, and sell section as well. Cool, that'll be part of that. Then I'm probably going to, if you want to take part in live streams, if you want to take part, that's going to be, I'll pick an amount. However, I'm thinking at this, I've got a lot of things rolling out. So don't necessarily think just because you're a current free member that you will start eventually having to pay. I'm just not sure yet. Maybe you guys might get grandfathered in. So if you think you might be getting grandfathered in, I would probably join sooner, like really soon, okay, before you'll not be able to be grandfathered in anymore. We'll see what happens. It depends on how many people we get to start joining, because I want to get paid for this. I want this to pay my bills, okay? I want Good Morning Stackers, the live show, the revenue I get from that through sponsors, the revenue I get, the small amount of revenue through YouTube ad revenue. I want all of this to pay my bills. I want to do this full time, okay? Why wouldn't I? I've been a stacker of precious metals for, a long, long time. I deserve it. And you deserve a community like this. Help me help you. Okay. And there might be a third tier of get personal advice and personal live streams and one-on-one sort of stuff as well. So yeah, do that. Head over there. Do I have, yeah, cool. That's it. And there's lots more coming as well. So yeah, just giving you a heads up. Cool. Trick us into it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's get to, we've done that stuff. Let's quickly do gold and we'll do precious metal. We'll do Bitcoin, crypto, and all that. Here is gold on the 4-hour time frame priced in USD 3,970. Why do I have 3,970 in my head? Is that an area I spoke about the other day? That's on there. That's on there. Yeah, no. We are, from this high and this low, we're nowhere near where we need to be. Okay, we at least need to get back through that. Yeah, it's that 4,200 level in order to say brand new all-time high coming for gold ASAP, like imminently. Okay, so until you're above $4,200, I cannot tell you a new all-time high in gold is coming anytime soon. I will flip like that. If we break and hold through there, I'll say, oh no, that's coming in days and weeks, not months and months. Cool. On the shorter term time frame, from this low and this high, where have we found support? Well, actually, that's not as good. I mean, we bounced through the 618, but we're at the top end of that resistance. Okay, so yeah, daily. Look, it's had a little bounce like silver did, but yeah, I mean, I can't say anything good yet about gold until we bare minimum get back into that expected resistance range. So you've at least got to get through 4,075, like through there, up into there, and then sort of start faffing around there and go, okay, maybe we can get up here. Cool, but that's, down there, and you can certainly bounce off there and then head back down. So yeah, I would say I'm not as confident with gold as I am with silver for that that rise. Okay, so that's where I am at the moment on the monthly time frame. We're in a monthly candle, but yeah, like I said with silver, yeah, it's a bit of a different thing because gold's had its massive run and silver hasn't. Okay, and if we take a look at the gold to silver ratio, we are, I think, still on the downwards trajectory for gold versus silver. So gold's had its massive run. It's certainly not done at all. I mean, gold will go to much, much higher over a longer period of time, talking the next 5 years with big dips in between. There could be a 1.5 to 2 year period where gold's just going sideways. So you've got to be careful there. As I've been saying, buying gold around about here for the first time, yeah, I wouldn't do it expecting to be rich in the next 2 years. Okay, 5 years, I'd expect it higher than where you bought in, but not from around here. Anyway, I do think that this is the gold to silver ratio. I do think silver will eventually break through this area and break through this uptrend line, and then we'll be talking turkey. We'll be at that 70 mark, break through 70, then you'll be getting down to 50. This is over the much longer term, okay? And silver does not peak. Let me be very clear with you. Silver does not find its peak until it's back in this area here, until it's back under 50. It did it every time, pretty much. If we go to the monthly time frame, I don't have the extra historical values, but I remember back in the 1980 silver run, the gold to silver ratio was down under 50. Okay, so this is your outlying areas for gold. This is where gold massively just goes on a tear. Anything under here, and silver is quite overvalued versus gold. Okay, silver won't top in dollar denominated terms until you are below this line bare minimum. Pick a point. I don't know. Could it get back to 1 to 32? Could it go down to 1 to 15 kind of ratio? Who knows? Many people think that's possible, but yeah, silver's nowhere near done in its price appreciation until you're at least bare minimum under that 50 level, and we're nowhere near there yet. We're not even at the top end of its normal zone. Okay, so silver's got a long way to go in terms of its price and in terms of outperforming gold. And in a silver run, silver has to massively outperform gold before it's done. Cool. So short answer is got a long way to go with silver. Yeah, but that was the gold price. We always get back to silver somehow, don't we? Here is platinum on the monthly time frame. We'll go to the weekly. We're talking 1,562. As I've been saying, if we start closing this week, start closing down here around that 1,500 level, then I'd have to say that's definitely a pivot point. Then you've got a higher high and a lower high on the relative strength index, which could set it up for some lower prices coming. Okay, the data is not all in there yet, so I can't say it 100%. But yeah, creep back through 1,700 US dollars or 1,640. Sorry, creep through that 1,640 level. Then I'll say, okay, probably not likely lower prices coming if you can get and hold above 1,640. Watch out for that area there. That's got to do that pretty soon though, right? Do that and then I'll say, okay, moving onwards and upwards. And of course, on the longer term time frame, platinum's looking amazing. Over the longer term, we will, absolutely will. I can't tell you the time frame exactly, but we will break the all-time high, and I think we're going to probably around about $5,000 silver, $5,000 silver. That was a Freudian. $5,000 platinum, I think, is really doable in the next 10 years, something like that. Probably, yeah, closer to 5 than 10. Cool. For platinum, copper is the sleeper that you really need to watch out for at the moment. Here is copper, $5. As we've been saying, it's been in a massive accumulation range for a long time. Cool. Ever since April of 2021. And really, let's be quite honest with it. Not honest. Let's be quiet. It's kind of been in a massive accumulation range since the start of this chart, which is around about 2008. That's what, a $1.50 difference? What, between 2008 and right there? Look at this, right? That's $4.40, and we've been as high as $5.90. So copper, since 2008, copper has only been $1.50 higher, and that was just recently. Okay, you could really call this a massive accumulation range. Okay, really, and just sort of poking its head out. Now, what can you notice it's doing? It's finding support. Look at that. Previous support was resistance for a while, then it broke through, and now it's acting as, look at that, acting as basically exact support. So once we get through that $5.40 area, for me, that's a really good sign. Around, see that right there? You get through there, golden. Well, copper really, okay? Copper is, I think, going to go on a decent run because the big precious metals go first. Gold, silver, platinum's having its run. Copper hasn't had its run yet, so I think it will do quite well. Get over that $5.40 and then we'll talk Turkey. It might be, could trade for a while, could range for a while, who knows? But once you get out of there, it's looking really good, okay? And if I show you on the quarterly time frame, that's the logarithmic scale. Yeah, get out of there, and then we're looking good. And then you'd be looking to get into some sort of copper stocks, copper index stocks, in index stocks, something like that. I'll do a special video on, like, the 7 amazing copper stocks to get into now, or something like that. I'll do that eventually. Subscribe to me and you shall get that. What else is doing well, just out of interest? Hydrogen. Okay, if you're into stocks, etc., hydrogen stocks or hydrogen-based stuff is doing really well. Hydrogen was up 7.5% yesterday when other things were down. Okay, so it's doing quite well. So this is the Global X Hydrogen ETF. You can actually just buy this. This is the HYDR listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, I would suggest it's probably a little getting towards overvalued now. It's coming up to some trapped money, I should say. So it's coming up to the top end of its zag zone. So the best place to buy it would have been the best place to buy it would have been about here. Duh. Really? The best place to buy was lower, Joe? Or even here, like out of this major area. See that area right there? You get out of there, then you buy around about there. Sure, then you're taking this move up. But is it worth getting in now when you're coming up to some trapped money right here? Okay, expected resistance range, which you'll probably get to. It's probably not worth it right now. Okay, so that's only, look, honestly, that's a 30% gain. There's a potential. Okay, on the weekly time frame, yeah, nothing's saying that you're in divergent, bearish divergent territory. So you might have a bit of ways to move. Yeah, on the daily, is the strength. Oh, okay. The daily, the strength is it is weakening. Okay, so you can see. So yeah, coming up to this area, you're going to find some weakness. Cool. So that's hydrogen. I don't know why I showed it to you. It's just out of interest. Okay, yeah. So the bit of bearish divergence going on there. So look at it for the long term. You've got lithium as well, which is finding resistance at the exact point where you expect lithium to find resistance at. Okay, see how that trend is weakening, right? You've got higher highs but lower highs on the relative strength index. So around about here, if you've been in lithium or any kind of lithium stocks, something like PLS, for example, Pilbara Minerals, you're finding it's also having a resistance point. I have it in my superannuation. And so it's a long-term hold for me, so I'll just ride any waves. What goes up must come down as long as you find a higher low, and that'd probably be around about there. Find a higher low, and yeah, great. I think I'm bullish on lithium in the longer term. Anyway, why am I talking about that? Don't know. Let's go to let's do some quick Bitcoin and crypto. Ooh-wee. Get rid of all that stuff. And we'll talk about TOSHI, etc. for anyone watching. Here is Bitcoin on the daily time frame priced in USD. We're back over 100,000. So we're at 103,800, 103,825 US dollars using the Bitstamp exchange price. It's the tradingview.com platform. This is on logarithmic. Let me take it off. No, that's the wrong one, Joe. Let me take it off log. There we go. So we've dipped into the expected support range. Okay. And we've found support so far at that $100,000 mark. That's at the 0.5 Fibonacci. Okay. As we've been saying, what goes up must come down. This is the normal expected thing. Okay. A lot of bearish divergence going on here. Could this be the cycle top? Potentially. You will be getting very, very concerned that you're on the cycle top if you do close through. And I'm going to give it to you exactly on the Bitstamp exchange price. The exact number is sitting at 94,200 and let's call it 94,200. Start closing below 94,200 on the Bitstamp exchange. Bad news bears. You could take a look at it on, say, the Coinbase, or take a look at it on the index. Now, the index is the one that's the index of all of them, so it's probably a good one to look at. If you wanted to say from where again, this low, it won't be exact, and this high, where's it sitting at? It is at 94,300. Okay, so it's $94,200, $94,300. You do not want to see days closed below there, and definitely not weeks or a month closed below there. A little spike below to freak you the F out? Sure. Bitcoin loves to do that. But below there wouldn't be looking good. Okay, then you'd be looking at a very sharp move down to at least $85,000, and then we'd have to talk about lower prices. But could this just be, a flat correction? Yep, could be. Could be like an A, B, C kind of, well, not flattish, but that could be something like that. Or it could be, this could be, where are we? This could be coming up to that. That's your A, B, C correction down into your $94,000 area. It has to bounce there and start creeping back up, and it's bare minimum got to get back through about $107,000. Okay, start doing that. Okay, then we'll go, oh shit, great. It was just the freak everyone out, get everyone on the wrong side of the market. Everyone capitulates, okay, and that's when Bitcoin loves to take off, when everyone's like, this thing is done. I hate this game. I am out. And then Bitcoin goes, haha, yes, thank you. Right? So just got to watch out for that. Why have I got it on here? I'll put it on here. There you go. Because this part of the show is brought to you by Stormrake. Stormrake.com, your full-service cryptocurrency brokerage. When you are ready to buy crypto, if you're a crypto native, then you should be buying through Stormrake, stormrake.com. Why? They're full service, okay? They have very deep liquidity. What happens when you're a crypto gajillionaire and you want to sell out, but you don't want to tank your price because you're like hitting the market sell button? It's like, what if you need to get out quickly for some reason because of some emergency? Do you want to tank your price? No. Do you want to do it in multiple exchanges? No. What you want to do is just go to Stormrake, sign up for an account, and have them there just in case. Now, I think you should just utilize them because they're great. Full service. They have a dedicated broker, like a literal human person with human emotions and everything is your dedicated broker, like having an old school stockbroker, right? You just call them and go, hey, what's good today? And they go, oh, I like this old coin. This is looking good. They go, hey, I want to buy $10,000 of Bitcoin. They go, great, leave it with me. Now, they'll charge you 3% for the full service cryptocurrency brokerage service. Get it? However, if you sign up through me, 2%. That's a 33% discount. Lifetime 33% discount off their brokerage fees, and you're grandfathered in. If they start raising their fees, you've locked in 2%. 2%? To buy big, to get out big, to not tank your price, to have someone do it all for you. And again, they can send it to your nominated address. You can have self-custody and all that. But if you don't want to have self-custody, like you couldn't be bothered anymore, trust these guys. They'll do the custody for you. I get it. Not your keys, not your crypto. Fine. They can send it to your nominated address. But what about your friends and family who don't want to deal with hardware wallets and this one having multiple thing and all that kind of stuff? Help them by giving them the gift of Stormrake at stormrake.com, because they'll just get it all done for them. And for a 2% fee, highly worth it, but you can only get that 2% fee when you sign up through me. I'll put a link somewhere below, and you can copy and paste this into the favorite browser of your, the address bar of your favorite browser, and 2% brokerage fees for life. I am bullish on Bitcoin in the longer term. Bitcoin goes through cycles. Is this a cycle top? Maybe. Is that a great opportunity for you to dollar cost average lower as it's going lower? Hell yeah. Okay, why would you try to pick the bottoms? All right, don't try and pick bottoms. Bottom picking, not a good thing. Not a good. What's the saying? Actually, it's a bit of a rude saying. Anyway, yeah, do that. Stormrake.com. Dollar cost average in, best way to do it. Let's go to Toshi. Let's take a look. Here is Toshi on the daily time frame price in USD. Little bit of a bounce, 0.0055. As I said to you all, once we broke through this support level there at the 0.006 level, I'm out. I'm out of Toshi for the moment. I told you I would be when we broke support here. I was actually at 0.0063. Out around about there. Didn't get it perfectly because I can't have like limit sells and things because it's, DeFi. But yeah, I got out around about this general area. I'll get back in if it starts creeping back and holding back above 0.0063. I got to stick to my rules. That's pretty much all you need to know. I am expecting a move back up though, because what goes down must come up. Will it be just a relief rally or a dead cat bounce? Could be up to about there is where I'm expecting. So you see that blue box? I'm expecting resistance to come in right in this area right here. If that does act as resistance and then breaks back down through here, well, then you got lower prices coming. If it goes up to here and then back through here and does not form. Now, what you would want to see, here's the perfect scenario. Up through here, higher low, and then it breaks that. I will tell you, I'm back in on that pattern right there. I wouldn't get back in on here because you don't know. That could be just an expected resistance and then it falls through. That's why you wait for a change of market structure, a bullish change of market structure, making higher highs and higher lows. Cool. So that would be that normal back then. There, that would be a first higher low. That would be a higher than there. Then if you're making a higher high, that's confirmed when you break through there. Cool. So that's now bullish change of market structure. I'm in. Okay, back in, and then I'll just ride it and see where we go. I'm out for the moment of Toshi. It is my favorite meme coin of all time, an amazing community. I will be back in. It is the face of Base Chain. Base Chain owned by Coinbase. Coinbase run by CEO Brian Armstrong. Brian Armstrong has a cat named Toshi. Yeah, that's why I love it. And it's an amazing, very good community. They're really rah on it. So let me know in the comments if you are still in. That's Toshi. Let's take a look at a quick one. Let's take a look at ZBCN. We haven't looked at it for a while. So I'm going to look at ZBCN4. This is for Gerald. Good old Gerald who's watching right now. Here is ZBCN. I'll pop it on. Will I pop it on the logarithmic? Yeah, I'll keep it on the logarithmic, I think, for Z. No, actually, I will. I'll take it off. I'll take off logarithmic, and then we'll go here. This is on the weekly time frame in US dollars, and we're talking 0033 at the moment. So not great, and I'll pop this on the daily. Not great at the moment that we did not hold through. We did not hold the zag zone. Okay, so from this high and this low, I might double check that I am. Yep, that's all good. That's in line. Yeah, currently underneath this zone. So that's all you really need to know. It's got to get back through that zone. I need to move this forward a little bit. So that low is still the low. So we can still call this the main price range. And this is the zag zone, expected resistance range, which we're finding. Gee, what do you know? Exact resistance at the expected resistance range. So the bottom end right there. Cool. Got to get through there. Bare minimum, I will not be even remotely interested until we start getting through 0042. Now, on the shorter term time frame, I guess we could start to look for some kind of bullish divergence, something like that. But we're not kind of in that territory just yet. If I move that up one so you can see it a little better. The price is currently moving in convergence at the moment. So, lower highs, lower lows, etc. And if you can see, that's doing basically the same thing. So it's in convergence, not divergence. So it just means the trend is intact. And in this case, the downtrend is intact. Okay, what you want to see is a reversal. Oh, really, Joe? You want to see a reversal? What you want to see is it's probably on the daily time frame. I'm going to assume ZBCN needs to get into extremely oversold first before we're going to see any kind of potential bottom. Okay, now that doesn't mean that the price will go, doesn't necessarily mean the price can go a lot lower. The price can have a double bottom while the price is going lower. That's possible, but on balance of probability, possibly lower prices coming. Okay, I need to see it get into here. Then what you want to do is you want to do something like that, and that's where it forms a lower low. Okay, so to give you an example, if I saw the pattern like this, right? If it did something like this, and that gets down into extremely oversold, and then that's matching that bottom, okay? Then if it does the following, if it goes like this, then makes a slightly lower low, okay? That's a lower low, but what's this? This is a higher low. That's actually bullish divergence, and then you could actually say that this here, if that plays out, okay, you could say that that right there is a liquidity grab because you break support for one of two reasons: to continue the trend or to grab people's stop losses, okay? And then it gets on its merry way. So that's what I'd be looking for a change of, for a bullish change, okay, for ZBCN, right? So far, the downtrend is intact at the moment. XRP is sitting as XRP bounced exactly on that 0.236 level. Okay, let me get rid of a few things here so you can see that much more nicely. Trend line. Yeah, no, I want you, it's that rectangle. No, it's not that one. It's that one that's peeing me off. Okay, cool. And I'll get rid of you. I'll get rid of you for the moment. Cool. And yeah, no, screw it. I'll get rid of you and I'll get rid of you. Between this low and this high, we have bounced at the 0.5. Okay, that's good. That's fine. But then if I show you this one, where did we find exact support? Gee, at the 0.236 from this high and this low. Okay, that is very weak support, but it is support nonetheless. Okay, so yeah, good. We just need to get through that downtrend line. And as I said, it's $2.70 is the big kicker for me. It's this one right here. See that level of support, 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 support flipped to resistance, resistance, resistance. Got to get through $2.70 and through that downtrend line. That would work. That would coalesce. That would coincide perfectly. Coalesce. That would also come perfectly with this zag zone. So if you do that, that's golden for XRP. I'm not saying we're doing it. I'm just saying that's what you'd want to see. Get through that support resistance zone, get through that downtrend line, and also get through that 618. So that's around about, that's technically at $2.85, but that $2.70 to $2.85 window, get through there. Beautiful. Then we'll talk about all-time highs for XRP. Nowhere near there yet. We're still in a downtrend at the moment. Cool. I will update you when it's showing signs of life. That's crypto. Do we have any chart requests? Chart request time for the next couple of minutes before we get out of here. Final comments, final questions, and maybe a chart request or two, maybe just one. Let's see. Yes, so the Mando Dad says, I'm not sure copper is easily stackable. It's not. You can buy physical copper. The best way to get exposure to copper is through an ETF of some kind. I get it. For the physical people, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Totally understand. I'm happy to own some of my stuff in the ETFs and the stocks, etc. I'm okay with that. That's just me. But I am a stacker of precious metals, and I've been stacking silver since 2010. Final comments. Mando on the Silver Investor Club said, I can live with that, and it is a club. Do you need to make the club formally registered if it is monetized, if there is such a thing? No, I don't need to formally register it. No, it's part of a platform called school.com, and any revenue I get from it, it just goes onto my taxable income. So yeah, I mean, it's all above board, but I don't need to formally register the club or form a company or anything like that. I don't have to do that. Platinum has some good upside. I absolutely do agree. You made it, Scott. Good to see you, my friend. We won't be spending too much time left here, but We'll spend a bit of time. Let's see. Looked at any gallium stocks? MRD went up recently. I am in a gallium stock, actually. Let me see if I can find it for you. And that's a really good way for me to quickly check. The market has opened. Let's see what the market has done, because now we're half an hour into the Australian stock market being opened. So let's take a quick little look. I will show you everything here. You can kind of see it. My face is kind of in the way. Everything here I am currently in. Anything marked with a yellow flag, I am currently in. I might be missing one or two potentially, but I've got quite a bit of stuff here. Let's take a look. 3DP, there's nothing. So AR, I'm just going to go quickly through it. ARR is up 5%. AGC, okay, what's up today? AR3, ARD's up, but up from a low level. AUZ, what's the gallium one? It's GL something. Oh, are you kidding me? I don't even have it. GL something? What? GLM? Is it GLM? Golden Lake Exploration? No. All right, give me 1 second. Let me find it. I'm going to do something that you can't see me doing. I'm going to open something that you can't see. And I don't want you to see it because it's my portfolio. What are we up? Okay, we're up a little bit. What's the one that was up? Position. So IXR, what's it called? Give me one. Yeah, oh no, it's not. It's GLN. It's not gallium. I'm in something called gallon lithium. Okay, so it's GLN. I should add this to my thing. GLN. Oh, it is there. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, I'm in GLN. I thought it was gallium, but it's gallon lithium. So it's a lithium play that I'm currently in, and that's what's that doing? That's up 3.5% for the morning. Okay, that's good. Let's take a quick look here. Let's see what's up the most. We'll go change there and there. So what's doing the best for me today? I don't look at JAV because that's a very small market cap. IXR, Ionic Rare Earth Limited, is up, but I think it's underneath my buy-in price. Pod is, I think I'm out of pod at the moment. Let's see, yeah, a bunch of things. Nanonuclear Energy is up a bit, but it's slightly under my buy-in. That's all right, happy to hold it. Yeah, anyway, so I'm not in anything gallium at the moment. SBSW is up a little bit. This is, of course, I think one of the best platinum plays. What's Zim doing? Let's see. What is Zim up to? Zim is down a little bit today. Okay, fair enough. Zim is the best platinum play, platinum stock play, platinum mining stock play on the Australian Stock Exchange, Zimplat's Holdings. Okay, yeah, cool. So that's where we are. A little bit up today. Portfolio's a little bit up. Cool. See you, Mark, Florida. Do what you got to do. What does PI mean when there is a cleansing notice? I don't know all that sort of stuff. I'm actually just getting into, like, I'm a newbie to stocks. It's only been since the start of this year that I've really been in stocks in a major way. I had an oil exploration company stock years ago, like a decade or longer ago, which I sort of, it did well, and then I didn't sell at the right time. It was just like, just trial by fire. But I'm kind of learning more about stocks at the moment. So what does PI mean when there is a cleansing notice? I actually have no idea. You know what, though? Let's ask. What does PI mean when there is a cleansing notice? I'm going to ask Grok. Let's go and do that. You can't see this, but what does PI... if it even understands the question, what does PI mean when there is a cleansing notice on the ASX? Particulars. Okay, let's read it together. In context of a cleansing notice on the Australian Securities Exchange, on the ASX, PI refers to particulars of issue. This is a section in the Appendix 3G form, which listed companies must lodge with the ASX when issuing new securities. So they're they're putting more shares in circulation. Okay, what is a cleansing notice? It's a statutory disclosure statement that cleanses newly issued. What does this shit mean? That cleanses newly issued securities, new shares onto the market, allowing them to be traded freely on the ASX without needing a full prospectus. So it's basically just a little wording like that sounds like the financial version of this room has been cleansed. Do you know what I mean? It's like you can go forth now, like with perfume and stuff, whatever they do with like sage and shit. It's basically saying we've issued a bunch of shares, and you are okay to trade them. You don't need to look at our prospectus. Okay. Role of PI. The particulars of issue provides the core details of the securities. Okay, so it's basically this information, why it matters. Failing to lodge a proper cleansing notice breaches something, and there's penalties. Basically means nothing. Short answer. Yes, praise be to Grok. No, what does it mean? Not PI. Oh, what does it mean? Sorry. Oh, okay, not the PI. Well, there you go. It was, what does it mean when there is a cleansing notice? Oh, okay, so interesting there. PI actually does mean something within that. So what does it mean? Yeah, cleansing notice is basically a sage thing going, we've just issued some new shares into the market, and it's okay, you don't need to, they're all good. That's basically, it's like, they're all good. You can go and trade those freely now. Because we said so. It means nothing. That's it. That's it. And yes, praise be to Grok. I almost said praise be to Glock. That's another Freudian slip as well. Speaking of that, on the workshop section of the Silver Investor Club, I'm going to be talking about pew pew. Pretty soon I'm going to do a workshop on there about how to obtain one legally, of course. And the sport and how it operates and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, head over and join the Silver Investor Club. I'm going to do a private workshop on that pretty darn soon. Let's get out of here, people. You have watched Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. Join the Silver Investor Club. Go to perthbullion.com.au, Stormrake, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And finally, we are going to dance it out, because it's really, I think you spend the whole hour. You come for the synchronized slurp at the start of the show, and then you stay for the dancing it out with the synchronized slurp at the end as well. Because, that's what we do here. What else do I need to say? Private live stream hangout tomorrow. I'm going to go into more detail about what's going on with the Silver Investor Club, with a very special incentive for the current holders and future holders as well. We're talking about how you can earn a bit of this by helping me. Help me and I will help you. I'll talk about that on the private live stream tomorrow. Make sure you join the Silver Investor Club, grab your tasty beverages, and we shall dance it out, because, ladies and gentlemen, you have watched Good Morning Stack. Oh yeah, we're feeling fine. Good Morning Stack. It's podcast time. Grab it. Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove. Let's do the synchronized slurp. 3, 2, 1, go. Thanks for watching. Love your work. Stay safe. Stay informed. Dudes, keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and I'll see you soon. Have a great day.